Everybody, we're here. This is going to be a lounge session. We're sitting here nice, comfortably. And I want everybody to lounge back in their chairs and just put on some Caribbean music and have a good time.
Nice, nice, nice. Donald, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Doing great. Selling a lot of houses.
Yes. They're in demand, these houses. They're in demand. They're still more buyers to sellers. And Andre wants to tell you about that.
Well, yeah, there's still a lot more buyers out there that are looking. If you have your house for sale right now, or if you plan to sell your house, don't wait. You could call me. Call me. I'm the broker for Acna Realty Trading. I'm only going to charge you 3% commission. So you could call me. I'll list the house for you, and you sell it right away. And you have a lot of buyers out there that are still looking. So don't think this is a dead market. Nou toujou gen baye, nou gen pil moun ki dekay pou achete kon ya la. E jiska prezant moun yo ap chèche kay yo pou jwen kay. E sou gen kay pou vend ou gen intansyon vend kay yo, ou pa bezwen retan. Just rele nou nan Acna Realty Trading. Nan mette kala nan market pou, nan vend ni tout suite. E sou son moun ki bezwen achete kay, kom mwen toujou de ou, depi ko achete un kay, son investment qu'on fait. First time home buyer, second time home buyer. As long as you buy a house, it's an investment.
It's going to be your biggest investment of your life. Biggest and best. Biggest and best.
And this is what people don't understand. When you are renting an apartment, you're paying your rent. Let's say you're paying $2,000 a month. You get nothing back in return. But when you buy a house, Donald, you get money putting on top of your principal. You save money.
Yes. So people look at it as if when they take out a mortgage and they see that big mortgage payment, that they're spending so much more money in rent, when in actuality they're not. And I'm going to give you a good example right now. In fact, I have a client that I'm working with right now who's buying a multifamily house in New Jersey. Okay, his monthly mortgage payment is $5,000 per month. And we were going back and forth about what his payment's going to be because we didn't know it was in a flood zone to begin with. And then, as contracts were being signed, we found out this property is actually located in a flood zone, and he also now has to pay for flood insurance.
Flood insurance,
so he's talking about, he wants to keep his payment down and this and that. And I told him he has to go out and find flood insurance and then give me the premium. I have a lot of good insurance people for New York, but not so many for New Jersey. So he's out there. Before he got a chance to look, we were going over payments. I'm like, I really can't give you an exact payment because you don't know the amount. However, you're going to be $5,000 per month per less. And it was a little more than the budget he wanted to spend. But when we went over the figures and he's buying a 2-family house and the unit he's renting out is $3,200 per month, he's coming up with $2,000 per month himself. And he was telling me, oh, my rent's only $1,200. I'm like, well, in fact, since you're paying $2,000 a month, you're actually paying less than your rent is. In fact, you might be paying next to nothing.
Right.
Because close to $1,000 of that $2,000 goes towards his principal balance. As Andre was explaining to you, you're paying down your house. So if you're paying from the first payment on a $500,000 mortgage and $1,000 goes to the principal, after you make that first payment, you now owe $499 on that house. Also, we were talking about the tax deductions they added up to $46,000 between the mortgage interest, the mortgage insurance, and the property taxes. He gets $46,000 of deductions. So at the end of the day, he's going to get a huge refund at the end of the year when he does his taxes, or in the beginning of next year rather, when he does his taxes, where it equates to he's actually nothing to live. In fact, he might even be putting a little bit in his pocket. So that's what Andre was trying to explain.
Yes,
to you.
exactly. First, let's see what is principal. Qui sa principal là? And second, let's break it down. Let's say you buy a house for $500,000. You put down $100,000. Now you get a mortgage for, let's say, $400,000, and your payment is gonna be, let's say, 3,500, right? So now 3,500. Remember, you have a lot more interest than you paying, as far as putting some money on the principal, right? So let's say you pay the bank $3,000 interest, $500 goes toward the principal. Now, whenever you pay your mortgage, you save or you put away $500 as saving. What I mean is that chaque fois qu'on mette comme ça en côté, qu'on y a comme ça ap grandi, and you decided that you want to sell this house, that money is going to come back in your pocket. And sometimes it's very difficult to save $500 a month. Now you're paying your mortgage, you are forced to pay that $500 a month down.
It's basically like a savings account.
It's a saving account.
You
You understand? And beside that, you have equity built up in your property while you're living in there. In other words, you are investing in your shelter. That's what I call it. I call it investing in your shelter because ou investi nan kay korete au lieu qu'on t'a payé loyer, ou investi comme ça, ou paye, of course, ou paye intérêt, mais chaque fois qu'on voyait permettre la aller, ou gagne cob ou série. So you save money anytime. Every time you send your mortgage payment out, you save some money.
Yes, yeah, you do.
So it's very important to understand that part because it's not just buying a house, it's an investment. That's why I call it your first house is your first investment.
And it's your biggest because not only after 10 years of paying, basically putting that extra principal money into what Andre would like to refer to as a savings account, you, in 10 years from now, your house will probably worth 30, 40, maybe even 50% more than you paid for it. So if you buy a $500,000 house, and even if you only put down 3.5% and take $475,000 mortgage, 10 years from now that house is worth $750,000, and on the 475, you've paid down on that $100,000 from the principal payments. Now you have $400,000 in equity.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You buy this house today, in 10 more years, you could sell this house, you put a lot of money in your pocket.
Yeah. And then, that's really something you people should consider out there. Everybody should. About, just where you want to, live your golden years. Because if you do this for 10, 20 years and you gain 50, 100%, a lot of people like to go down to Florida, retire, maybe go to their home country, retire, and they could live off the wealth that they've built their whole life.
Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people out there that understand exactly what I'm talking about, especially people in Brooklyn. I know a lot of people in Brooklyn right now, they have their homes for years. They bought this property very cheap. And most of these properties, these properties worth over $1 million.
Oh yeah, yeah. crazy.
Actually, I just got a listing for 1.3 million right now in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's crazy what's
So si
going
gon moun kap chèche kay di yo se Brooklyn nou vere tout a bezwen achete kay. Mgo kay pou van 1.3 million nan Brooklyn nan. Un fami nan Brooklyn Avenue. 1.3 million for sale. It's 4 bedrooms, living room, dining room, and finished basement. So si ou sou moun ki bezwen rete nan Brooklyn nan, ou se nan Brooklyn nou yo, bi wap chèche kay nan Brooklyn, nou gen a relem. Et je suis capable de faire rendez-vous avec vous pour montrer ça. Numéro de téléphone, c'est 917 567 35 96. Et si par exemple, tout le monde a évalué tout, si c'est dans Brooklyn, il y a n'importe quoi, vous pouvez arriver, moi, je suis capable de venir, évaluer pour moi faire un CMA, Comparable Market Analysis, un CMA qui est le Comparable Market Analysis. Cela veut dire que I am going to come and evaluate the house for you compared to houses that were sold before, houses that were in the market. So we'll determine a price to sell your house for you. Remember, I'm going to list your house for you at 3% commission. 3% seulement à payer. And then we can sell this house fast. So call me. Numéro c'est 917 567 35 96. That's all I know. Your job is to help people qualify to get a mortgage, or you could help people refinance their homes as well. And right now, we have a lot of people out there, especially people in Brooklyn. Their interest rates are still high, and they haven't decided to refinance their properties. So, what would you say to them right now?
I would say if you're looking to refi or even purchase a home, I can help you get pre-qualified. I'll go through all the products, fit you into the best product that's available for you with the lowest possible monthly payment that you can afford.
Definitely. Let's say you have a house in Brooklyn. You have a house in Brooklyn. You probably owe $200,000, $300,000 on this house, and the house probably worth over $1 million. So you might need some money to go to vacation, or you might need some money to do another investment. So you could call Donald and be able to help you. Donald, what's your number?
616 426 0935.
616 425.
Is it sink or says?
6
Six.
6 426
426
09
0935.
0935. Blanc a dégagé dans la noire. Nous sommes capables de comprendre ça. Say it again. Blanc.
616 426 0935.
616 426
0935.
425. 425.
46.
426 426 0935. 616 426 0935. Ça, c'est le numéro blanc. L'on besoin, si tu as un refinance, ou bien si ou son monde qui t'a besoin acheter un cas, pour qu'on ait un pre-approval. Now, what is a pre-approval?
A pre-approval is after you have gone to a lender, supplied your documentation, ran your credit, and had your whole financial situation analyzed to see what price range of home that you're eligible to buy in.
Definitely. So this is me, André Marcelin, real estate broker, Act Now, Realty Trading. Et je toujours dit nous ça, si ou pas gagné un prix à pouvoir dans mon, moi pas pas perdre du temps pour mal monter au caille. Simple as that. Avant que moi sorti ensemble avec vous pour mal monter au caille, il faut que vous gagnez un prix à pouvoir. Si ça fait Donald ensemble avec moi, nous travaillons de concert pour nous capables d'aider réaliser American Dream. Pour nous aider à réaliser American Dream, il faut que vous présentez des papiers pour nous Donald analyser papiers, li ouais qu'on y a qu'on qualifié pour acheter un caille. À partir de là, les barreaux le prix à pouvoir. Là, au fin de journée, pour apprendre ça, moi-même, moi gagné copie pour apprendre ça, même, moi connais exactement pour combien de corps qu'on qualifié, qu'on est capable de faire rendez-vous pour mal montrer au cahier. Donald has to give you the pre-approval first. But, Donald, let's talk about what kind of documents do you need?
Okay, so for a self-employed borrower, I'm gonna want
Si c'est avec tête ou travail,
I'm gonna want for self-employed, I want the most 2 recent years tax returns, business and personal. Some are incorporated, some aren't. Whether you file a Schedule C or 1065s, 1120s, whatever you file, I'd like to look at the last 2 years. However, if you're self-employed for 5 years plus, then possibly we only need the most recent year. And for wage earners, salaried employees, and we require most recent 2 years W-2s and pay stubs at a minimum 1 year of W-2s and pay stubs. And for those people that don't really claim much on their returns, they're eligible for non-QM portfolio products, which could be as little as, just documentation from your CPA, how much you claim, how much your income is in your business.
There are people that have businesses,
Those are for self-employed borrowers.
self-employed borrowers.
Yes.
But you have to have very good credit.
I would say at least good credit.
Good credit.
Good credit.
Now, guys, that's the deal. Now, a lot of you self-employed out there, got pile nan nou qui self-employed, pas vrai? N'a travaillé avec tête nous, nous avons aimé acheter un caille. J'aime toujours dire nous que si on travaille à tête ou il y a plusieurs façons capables de montrer comment. Ou capable de montrer comment les taxes sont préparées, taxes business ou, les ça, ou obligé de voir comme en comme ça, ou payer taxes. Comme ça, tout capable de montrer comment avec bank statement pour montrer combien de vous mettez dans la banque chaque mois ou bien chaque semaine pour montrer quantité de que le business là, revenu que le business là a fait. À partir de là, Donald est capable d'aider ou joindre un pré-approval pour qualifier pour acheter un caille. Une chose qui est très important, nous toujours besoin de parler ensemble avec nous, c'est comprendre que l'on pour acheter un caille, il faut qu'on ait un CV. Il faut qu'on ait un petit code qui est serré. Parce qu'on a besoin de code pour mettre comme down payment et on a besoin de code pour closing costs. Pas oublier, pas une question de monde qui a l'argent ou bien 100% financing. It's very difficult to get 100 financing right now. So therefore, you have to have at least 3% or 3% down payment and your closing costs. Isn't it?
Yes, at least 3% or 3.5%. In this market, we are starting to see sellers shift back to seller concessions though for the closing costs.
Yes.
So that is a possibility, but not a guarantee.
Not a guarantee. Now, the seller's concession usually les sellers a besoin de vendre là, tout le monde a besoin de retirer là dans l'estomac li, li gen des fois ou bien li pas capable de encore, li impatient et quand il y a le temps de vendre là, ça veut dire qu'il est motivé. They call that motivated sellers. Les sellers a motivé, ils besoin de vendre là et quand il y a un prix raisonnable. Et offre ou bali qui raisonnable là vient montrer que qu'on y a là il dit la pas accepter offre. Cependant les côté banque là pour capable faire mortgage là ou bien le regarder dans bank statement ou dans fond la banque ou pas assez comme pour acheter caille là ou manquer dans closing cost. Now seller capable d'accord pour dire que la ido avec closing cost là pourvu que après le caille là aller plus haut que offre ou bien contrat que vous avez signé. Par exemple, si vous achetez un caille pour $500,000 et on nous dit ou seulement gagner 5% pour mettre down, ça veut dire que vous gagnez $25,000 pour mettre down. Et quand là, il a prise pour $520,000. Pas oublier contrat que vous mettez down, ou acheter là, contrat c'est pour $500,000 que lié seulement. Eh bien, cela est d'accord pour le bas qui prend $20,000 ça comme closing cost. Ça c'est equity qui extra sur la qu'on va acheter, et bien il vient tout on va acquérir seller's concession. C'est là qu'on est capable de faire une seller's concession. Ça veut dire qu'on prend comme ça pour payer closing costs. Mais pas oublier que seller's concession financé dans l'achat qu'on va faire. So the seller's concession is being financed toward your purchase.
Yes.
Would you explain that?
So basically, at the end of the day, the seller concession, you are financing the closing costs. So you don't have to come out of pocket for them. It gets built into the loan amount and the purchase price. So basically, you and the seller, before a seller concession is even mentioned, agree upon a price. Let's say 500,000 is the purchase price. You're allowed, depending on the product, 3 to 6% maximum. So if you take a 3% seller concession of 500,000, you're now buying the house for 515,000, and the seller pays 15,000 of your closing costs and walks away with the 500 that you guys originally agreed upon.
I'm sure that this is well done, the way he explained this to you. So, nous comprenons qui c'est que seller's concession là. But, cependant, c'est pas tout seller qui d'accord. Not every seller is gonna say, okay, I'm gonna let you take $15,000 of my equity. Especially in a hot market. Si market là chaud, seller ouais est capable de 515, il n'est pas d'accord pour retirer, pour quitter pour 515 pour payer closing costs. Mais comme market là, real estate market là, on dit plus ou moins sous le spécialement pour monde qui a acheté caille de plus que $600,000, il est possible qu'on soit capable de faire une seller's concession. That is something very important out there. I would like to explain to people that are qualified for the amount of under $500,000.
Okay. So are we talking about the affordable products?
Actually, no. There are people that are qualified for like $450,000. It's very difficult to find a house that you would like. The reason why we haven't seen houses for $400,000 for about over 2 years. Everything that was supposed to be or that used to be sold for $400,000 were selling. The price increased to about 50 to 100,000. Anything that was at 400 went up to 500 and more.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have buyers that are qualified for over 500,000 and they still have hard time to find a house. If you qualify for $400,000 now, the house you're gonna find is houses that were sold, that were in the market years ago for like 3 something, and last year they were selling at almost 500, but they now at 400. That means they're not big. Okay, they're not big houses. So there's still gonna be there's a big competition right now for houses at this price between 3,000, 300, 500,000. I mean 350,000 to 450. You still have a competition out there. You still have all these people that were qualified that couldn't buy in the last 6 months. Now they are the people that are trying to get these houses. So if you qualify for over 500, I think you more or less have a chance to get to buy a house with seller's concession.
Yeah, definitely.
So seller's concession is a good thing for you if you don't have enough for closing costs. But si ou son moun kap achete yon kay ou bezon ti kay nan 400 yo, ou kapab ven seller's concession, but li pa fasil parce toujou kompetisyon toujou la de yo. Gan pil moun ki kalifiye pou $400,000 ki pou kapab ven kay ki yo vle ya. But nous capables de dans le mois de novembre, dans fin octobre, dans mi-temps octobre, là, de novembre, peut-être nous capables de market là, capable de plus de qui montent là-dedans. Ça fait ma nous prendre patience et nous capables de jouer une pour réaliser American Dream. Now, remember when you buy your first home, this is your realization of your American Dream.
Yes, yes, it is.
And when you buy your first home, that's your first investment. Now, that's a door open for you so you could buy more properties.
And also think about it. Even if you're buying a house at 400,000, look at the inflation rate right now at 10%. So eventually, inflation is going to keep going up and up and up. One day, that same house will be worth double.
Oh,
Will be
definitely.
worth 800,000.
Definitely.
And with paying down the principal, your $400,000 mortgage that you took that will be half the amount, 200,000. So now you have 600,000 in equity. You gain the money both ways. So I like to look at it. Basically, it's kind of like a 401k where you have a job where your employer matches your contribution. Look at it as the same thing. The market will match how much you're contributing to the house, you're paying down the mortgage, and the market will go up.
And for those of you who say that you're waiting for the market, you taking your time, there's no wait. If you qualify to buy your house now, just buy it. That's your opportunity right there.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Paris temps, tu vas get acheter, I met a lot of people in 2010, 12, 15 that were waiting for the market to go down and the market went up. They never had the opportunity to buy a house.
Exactly.
Now, if you are qualified to buy a house right now,
Buy it now.
buy it now. Don't wait. And like Donald says, if you buy it now, 5, 10 years, you're gonna have equity in your property. Your money might be double. Remember, whenever you buy your first home, that's your first investment. And we call that long-term investment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an investment also in your shelter. Instead of paying rent, you invest in your shelter. If you want to pay your mortgage, you save some money towards your principal. So it's no brainer. Call Donald, call me for any questions when it comes to real estate. Any question relating to real estate. Now, Donald is the mortgage person. He's the guy that pre-approve you, that gives you the pre-approval, and he's the guy that close you. In other words, he's the guy that will help you get the mortgage. I'm the guy that will help you get the house. I've been doing this for years, over 20 years. I have a lot of people down there. I'm proud of that.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
So it's not just.
I may look like I'm 20 years old, but I have not been doing this since the day I was born.
That's right.
I've been doing it for 20 years also.
That's it. That's the thing. That's the thing. You come to us. We're not here to just hustle you. We're here to help you. You know what's so amazing, Daniel, is when someone comes to you and that person credit is shot. That person has no credit. And you look at the credit, you find a solution, and you tell them, listen, give me a couple of months. You'll be ready to buy a house.
Yep. Yep.
How much they pay you for that? They pay you nothing.
Nothing.
You
It's a free
fix their credit.
It's a free consultation. There's no obligation. I'm here to give you my best advice that I can offer through my experience, and hopefully, it benefits you.
Yeah. Well, this is what I told people. It's no joke. It's very serious. If you come to me, your credit is shot. You have bad credit. Your credit is not good, and I'm here to fix your credit, put you in a position to realize your American dream. I want you to understand that I'm helping you. At the same time, you have to stay with me so I can get your house to realize your American dream. Don't just leave after I fix your credit and I don't see you anymore. Just don't do it. Just make sure you stick with me. Be patient until I get you the house.
Yeah. and especially in this market, you got to be patient because
Definitely.
there's a lot of people out there looking for homes, and you got to find the right home for yourself.
Yes, and I'm very patient with you too. I'm not a guy who's gonna hustle you, push you toward buying a house. I take my time with you. I find out what you want, then you buy your house.
Yes.
It's so funny. I take people out first time. The first time I take you out, I don't expect you to get a house to put an offer on the house. I take you out to feel, to see what you like. And the minute that I take you a second time, I look at the house that you like. I talk to you. I get your opinion about the houses that we see, and then I ended up finding your house after that. Give me like 3 shots. After 3 shots, I got your house.
Exactly.
The reason why I show you the house is just to learn about you. You're looking for 4 bedrooms, I find you 4 bedrooms. Sometimes the bedrooms are too small. It's 4 bedrooms, but the bedrooms are so small, or the bathroom is so small, or there's no master bedroom. I understand that. But we're gonna end up find the house that you like. And you're gonna buy it. We're gonna have it.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely. So what don't you have to say?
I think we've covered it.
We
You know,
covered
is
it,
there
and
anything else that
we need to give them our phone number again. This way, this is something very important here. We are giving you our phone number to contact us. Any questions that you have, we'll be able to answer that. For example, I'm a real estate broker. I've been doing this for over 20 years. In other words, I have experience. You get a pile experience en papier. Donald has been doing this for about the same time. He's the mortgage guy. He's the guy that's gonna help you find the money to buy the house. He's gonna help you qualify after you show him your documents. You got to have our number.
616 426 0935.
C'est ça. Nous l'avons le bon bail bien. So, c'est ça. Numéro de téléphone moi c'est 917 567 3596. Download 917 567 3596. Give me your number in English.
516 426 0935.
In Creole now.
616
In French, Creole.
426 0935.
Anybody who has a question, they can call you while you're on your way home.
Yeah, definitely. So if you have questions for Donald, you could call. We're gonna end this show right here. But if you have questions for Donald, you could call him.
I'm a night owl, so I'm up all night.
516.
516 426 0935.
917 567 3596, c'est numéro pas moins. 917 encore. 516, I'm sorry, 917 567 35 96. Et mesdames et messieurs, chose ça, nous portons pour chaque 2 vendredis. Uh-huh.
See you next Friday. We're gonna open the line.
So, okay.
Anybody to call to ask questions.
So
Okay.
now you turn this up past the next time we come back here, we're gonna be here every other Friday. Ça veut dire que chaque 2 vendredis, nous venons là, nous parlons avec vous, nous avons petits conseils, nous avons questions, nous avons numéro de téléphone, nous avons des questions, nous avons n'importe quoi. But next time nous retournons là, parce qu'il a dit que pour aller ouvrir le téléphone, si nous avons des questions pour nous poser, nous devons poser live. Pendant ce temps, vous avez numéro au moins, vous avez numéro Donald, vous doit relayer nous et jusqu'à ce que l'autre vendredi vienne encore l'autre question, encore toujours poser des questions. I remember we had a show. First or second times we came to the show, we had a guy in the Bronx that became a client of us that wanted to buy a house. The guy that went to we showed that house in the Bronx. Did you ever close this family?
No,
Jude.
because the house didn't
Jude, what
appraise
happened
the
to
value. Jude, the house did not appraise high enough.
Yeah.
The house never. That's like the one strike mark on my record, but I
Yeah.
feel so bad for him. The nicest guy in the world.
It was nice,
They're-
yeah. But the
really
live show is always
just-
good when people call live.
Right,
It's
right.
very nice.
And
That's
then-
why we
no,
said
but-
next
but
Next time we're gonna do it.
That
Yeah.
but then we found a different house, and then his the third borrower backed out of the deal.
Yeah.
His
Unfortunately.
wife's, I think, aunt it was.
But
That's-
Jude's
That's actually what happened. The first house didn't appraise
Mhm.
at the value, and then he found another house, and then we were getting ready to close. We were ready to go, and then his aunt backed out of the whole deal.
Yep. But
But-
this is yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I actually reached out to him a few months ago. I'd like to just call him and say hello. The nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, and then the thing about it, Jude, pas décourager your American dream.
Excusez-moi, parce que j'étais supposé dans le studio pour pas dire mon sur internet.
Yeah, so I think we're good.
Okay.
We're good. I think we're good. This
Non,
is
ça va si habitué au studio.
this is a town hall conversation today. This is just a town hall conversation. Next Friday we'll be in the studio. Dans le studio next vendredi qui vient ici, parce que chaque deux vendredis nous là, so it's okay. I'm sure tout le monde comprend. Et je dis à son town hall là, mais nous faisons ensemble là. It's a town hall.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, give the number again.
616 426 09 35.
917 567 35 96.
Mais n'a dit moun qui te remet blanc, bon moun qui te remet pour blanc. N'a dit li carré blanc comme ça. There's someone who call me Donald. They said they like your face.
Oh,
So I
really?
told them they can call you now because
Yeah,
they keep
tell
calling
them to
me.
call
I like
me.
your blanc. I like your blanc.
You like the blanc? Nous aimons blanc, nous regardons les blancs parce que nous allons faire le show. Ou mettre les blancs, on numéro de téléphone blanc, on mettre les blancs, ok? Ok, pas oublier, dans 2 vendredis qu'on a retourné, c'est un plaisir pour nous être ensemble avec vous. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.